Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning into these videos. And in this video, it's going to be another MOTB update, because as the watchmen of this ministry, we're going to be watching in the news and everything to link them up to what the scriptures is speaking about, because this is going to be the end all be all that's going to regard our deliverance and salvation. Lord willing, we endure unto the end and overcome these trials and tribulations, and we don't bend the knee to the image of Baal and wanting and trusting in the shadow of Egypt, whether it be from death or from hunger. None of these things that Esau is going to offer the elect, the remnant, they're not going to take it. And the main thing that we're not going to take, Lord willing, we're part of that number, and we endure through these hours and temptations and trials and tribulations, is this MOTB device and everything that comes with it. So in this article, this is coming from the World Health Organization, and the title of it says, the European Commission and WHO launch a landmark digital health initiative to strengthen global health security. And this was only posted just a few days ago, I believe 5 days ago, on the 5th of June 2023. And right now, as I'm reading, it is the 9th of June. So this is not that far ago. And Esau, as you can see when he's moving out here, he's moving quick, because he knows that he doesn't have but much time, because the elect is obtaining this word, and the running that readeth it. And the watchmen are also speaking about these things and linking them to the scriptures. Even though this is a mystery unto the rest of everybody, the election have obtained it, but the rest were blinded, because Yahweh Shai is only going to be concerned with the elect when he returns. So from reading from this article, it says, the World Health Organization and European Commission have announced today the launch of a landmark digital health partnership. In June 2023, the World Health Organization will take up the European Union system of digital the COVID-19 certification to establish a global system that will help facilitate global mobility and protect citizens across the world from ongoing and future health crises. This makes me think, when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh, and the one who's going to send that destruction is going to be Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But continuing on, it says including pandemics. Because you remember back in 2020, these people, Esau, who's got the everybody, listening to every word that he says, they all obeyed and bent the knee. The majority of the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, bent the knee. Even those that are within the circumcision bent the knee, and they just abide by whatever this person was speaking about. They didn't really examine it or anything like that. They just, took it head on. But anyways, continuing on, it says, this is the first building block of the World Health Organization Global Digital Health Certification Network that will develop a wide range of digital products to deliver better health for all. Building on the EU's highly successful digital certification network, World Health Organization aims to offer all of the members state access to an open source digital health tool, which is based on principles of equity, innovation, transparency, and data protection and privacy, said Dr. Tedros, this guy. So I'm not going to read the rest of the article. You can read it yourself. Lord's will, I remember to put it in the video's description. But we can see everything that's happening. You got the earth right here, and the serpent with that stick right there. All this is going to lead to the MOTB. Because, fast forward to when this is actually put in practice, and you're trying to get medical or something, you would have to go through the functions of what all these people wearing their masks are doing. And you best believe that's going to be tied to that MOTB. That all of a sudden, all these billionaires are funding these companies to make chip devices to insert in their brain, and all these big companies like Amazon are pushing for the quote unquote ease of purchasing, buying, and selling. And so that's what the scriptures are speaking about when the MOTB, because at the end of the day, all their advances and research and development to making this thing actually happen is so that they could put this device inside of you, and that's the MOTB. And so I want to read this here, because when we're reading these things, we're making it plain upon tables that we're pointing out this devil and the action that he's doing he's going to be in straits right now while he's trying to perform his enterprise. And we are the two witnesses. If you read in the book of Revelation, those two witnesses that represents Judah and Ephraim, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. And we're pointing out the fact that this person is not doing what he's supposed to be doing down here. He's destroying the world, even though he's given like the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and favor is shown unto them. Yet will he not do righteousness? To the point where like he's actually doing something that's actually said in the scriptures what the elect is not going to take. And here he is putting headlong forwarding this agenda. So this is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Let me just zoom in this picture real quick. Gotta open new tab. So you can see what spirit this guy is coming in. All right, so this is in 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 7, and it reads, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." So right now he's being consumed with the spirit of his mouth, because when we're out there on the highways and hedges and we're doing these videos and we're coming in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, they hear Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We are just messengers, and the scripture says, if they heard you, they heard me, and if they hated him, they hated the one who sent him. Speaking about Yahweh Shai and the disciples at the time, he was saying basically that when you're moved with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you become an ambassador for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And you're telling these people, as the two witnesses are supposed to do, that this person is not right. He's crooked, and he's trying to devise a wicked plan, and ultimately he's not going to succeed. And we're speaking about these things. Everyone is catching on. Of course, not everybody's going to agree with what we're saying, but we don't care about everybody. We care about the elect. And then it says, "And shall destroy him with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders." So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So he's got power down here. He has the ability to say what is going to take place down here and what agenda everybody's going to adhere to. And you best believe that it's going to come a point where he's going to want us to try to bow down to these false idols. And that one false idol I'm speaking about is the MOTB, his powerful, or I should say his false powerful devices, because he's got powers and signs and lying wonders, so that he's able to perform his enterprise. But I'm going to read from verse 9 again. It says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved." And he's going to try to deceive us. That's why he's got agents, he's got people coming up against this truth. But that's okay, because this truth is only going to be those who have eyes to see. My sheep heareth my voice. But the thing is, though, is this is how Esau is going to be coming in this final stage of his rulership, is that he's going to be very deceptive, like a snake, the snake that he is. If it were possible, he would deceive the very elect. But we understand that he's not going to deceive the very elect, because the election have obtained this truth. and we're not going to be moved by anything he sways, no matter if we're hungry, because we don't care about our lives. We don't care about the things that are down here. We seek a kingdom to come. So what can he do to those type of people? All right, so continuing on verse 11, it says, "And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness." And so just as Noah was out there on the highways and hedges telling these people uh, about the rain, nobody believed them. And so we're out there on the highways and hedges. We're fishing for the elect, but then we're condemning those who disregard this message, because if they hear this word and they're not sighing and crying like as we are, then pretty much they're marked. The angels have already dotted down on their list that this is a bad person, and that the judgment will be met with them, either swiftly or leading up all the way to when he returns. You want to be like those who sigh and cry, like it says in the book of Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel 9:4, where it talks about the Thawah, the mark of exemption. So I want to read this also in Isaiah 47, verse 12. It says, "Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail." So Esau, he's got all these enchantments and these multitudes of sorceries, and he's actually doing seances so that he can actually perform these things. He couldn't take out the moon. He couldn't count the stars. He couldn't go down under the ocean, and he most definitely can't wipe out the nation of Israel, because we're likened as the sand of the sea. You try putting pressure on us, then we'll push back in a sense. And so none of these things that what Esau would try to do away with us and the Most High's people and his law, statutes, and commandments, he's not able to do those things. He couldn't prevail against those things. And so with that, he's doing all these seances, thinking like this is his only way to be able to win in this chess match. But ultimately, the Lord is the ultimate chess player, and he's already got you in check. But verse 13 says, "Thou art wearied in the multitudes of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame." So they're going to have all these people, no matter how much sacrifices they're doing behind closed doors, none of these things are going to work. They are ultimately going to be stubble. They're the sacrifice that's getting ready to put on in the altar, and they're about to be burnt with fire. Continuing on here, it says, "The fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it." Speaking about the technology behind the thermonuclear missiles. And this makes me think that even though these Edomites, they might think that they delivered themselves in these big bunkers, well, the scriptures already prophesied about that in the book of Revelation 6, that you're going to go into those bunkers really ultimately just to be the first fruits of slavery. Because just as the majority of these people are going to be washed away by the second flood, there's going to be a remnant that's going to survive this second flood. If you know what I mean, this parable that I'm speaking about, the second death, that's going to be with fire. And they're going to be able to preserve themselves, but really they're going to be preserved so they can fulfill like the scriptures about the Psalms 2, Psalms 149, and they're going to build up the kingdom of to come. So they can't get away, even if they seem to get away. Ultimately, like it says in the book of Amos, they'd run away from a bear, run away from a lion, but ultimately the bunkers that they're going into, there's a serpent there, and he's waiting to get them bit. So I want to read this also, concerning those who don't adhere to the message we speak. Pretty much they just got that mark of judgment, because the scriptures do speak about that. And that's something that we tell you to be not dismayed, because that's actually it's expected. If anything, people coming up to us and saying that we're liars, crazy, or whatever, we're fools for Hamashiach's sake because of the outlandish things we believe in, like this article I'm speaking about this article, how it links to the MOTB. A lot of people could laugh at me, but so be it. We're fools for Hamashiach's sake. And ultimately, they've condemned themselves because they disregarded this message. And in verse 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4, it says, in whom the God of this world had blinded the minds of them which believe not. So you see, it's the word here, God, is not capitalized, as speaking about the God of this world, which is Esau, Edom. And everybody following after his works and ways and trusting in his shadow, they ultimately have been sold a lie. And they pretty much, they're blinded. And then continuing on, it says, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach Yahushai, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. And so when we speak in wisdom, it makes our face to shine. And, we're moved by the Spirit. We're orders for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and speaking these things into fruition. And then we're breaking down strongholds also. Even though they disregard us and they count us as fools, ultimately that's prophecy being fulfilled. Like within they look, from their perspective, we look like we're losers. We're actually winning and proving the scriptures to be prophetic and real. It's a lot of parables and a lot of double think, if you will, because these people, their minds are blinded. They literally believe in a lie, so nothing good can come out of them. All right, so I want to read this also in 2nd Ezra 15, because there's a precept to that. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. So we're coming in the testimony of Yahushai. And continuing on, it says, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. So this is not of us. We are not making this up. We are not getting together and seeing how we can make a bunch of views on YouTube. No, none of that worldly stuff is motivating us. What's motivating us is that we want to be seen as worthy to be delivered, where we have faith and works. So when we're speaking, we're not speaking of our own. We're speaking of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And in verse 2 it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And so all these people who don't believe in what we're speaking about, that's ultimately a good thing to us, because now we're that much closer to the elect being sealed. Because the 2/3 pretty much got to be sealed for that mark of judgment, just as it says in the book of Ezekiel 9. And then I want to read this quick precept here in Romans 3, verse 3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai without effect? Just because some rich person or famous person doesn't accept our gospel, is that supposed to waver us in our faith? No, if anything, contrary, it's supposed to boost your faith up, because now you have to understand that you were chosen out of these multitudes of people for a reason. And verse 4 it says, Yahweh forbid, yea, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. And so we're all seeing basically people just choosing error right now, and we're not going to get that told you so until the missiles hit and the elect is delivered. So these things are going to be expected whenever we go to these articles and link them to prophecy. But with that, I'd like to give honor and praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rachak Wadash, and Shalom Akim.